All right, let's get into this. What we're looking at here isn't just another tech manifesto or some new shiny startup idea. Nope. We are about to unpack what this material calls a blueprint for a living system, one designed with the absolutely audacious goal of, well, fundamentally reshaping reality itself.
And this line right at the beginning is what just grabs you. It sets the stage perfectly. This isn't supposed to be a story, it's a schematic. The ambition here is just completely off the charts. It's suggesting that the words, the code, all the ideas we're going to explore are meant to actually come alive. But to even begin to get our heads around this huge, planet-sized vision, we have to start small. We have to start on the ground floor, in the forgotten corners of the city, under the freeways, in the scrapyards, where a secret war is being fought. Not with guns and armies, but with lawsuits and art and pure defiance.
This quote frames that street-level conflict in such a powerful way. See, it's not just about property or about money. The source material is presenting this as a fight for the very soul, the very character of the city. It's a struggle against a faceless, corrupt system that loves to operate in the dark.
So this is where it all kicks off. Among the outcasts, right? The scrappers, the tenants, the artists, all of them trying to navigate this total labyrinth of real estate fraud, predatory shell companies, and what the documents call petty tyranny. They're the ones living in the cracks of the system, and it's from those cracks that this resistance starts to bubble up. And just look at this list. This is a total onslaught. This isn't one battle, it's a war being fought on a dozen fronts at the exact same time. The system is throwing everything it's got at them, from messing with official property records, those assessors' parcel numbers or APNs, to wrongful evictions, and just straight-up harassment. It's a whole strategy designed to overwhelm you, to exhaust you, and to crush anyone who dares to stand in the way.
So when you're facing that kind of insane systemic pressure, the normal tools, they just aren't going to cut it. You need a completely new arsenal. And in this story, that arsenal is forged from some pretty unexpected materials: art, poetry, and a totally radical new vision of legal warfare.
And this is where it gets really inventive. They start fighting back with language itself. This isn't just a poem. The source calls it a counter-algorithm. It's an attempt to use the raw emotional power of creative expression to deconstruct and maybe reprogram the very logic of the systems that are attacking them.
This is where their strategy really comes into focus. They call it poetic jurisprudence. I mean, just imagine a legal brief that reads like a poem. The whole goal is to weaponize language to short-circuit the legal machine, to force a system that's built on cold, hard logic to suddenly have to deal with ambiguity and beauty and contradiction. It's basically pure juridical sabotage.
And then they fuse this poetic strategy with tech. This automatic lawsuit machine, it's designed to create a state of complete legal paralysis for their opponents. It literally treats text as executable code and the law as a kind of virus, preemptively shutting down any corporate attempts to steal their ideas.
Okay, so we've got a street-level war being fought with art and tech. But there is another layer to this system, and it's even more radical. The fight, it turns out, isn't just external. It's internal. It's about re-engineering the mind itself using, you guessed it, neuropharmacology.
This quote, "This is the philosophical heart of this whole next phase. It reframes the brain. It's not a computer you can program. It's a dynamic, self-referential poem. And if it's a poem, well, then maybe it can be edited, revised, and expanded if you have the right chemical keys."
You know, what's so striking here is the precision. This isn't just about random experimentation. It's a carefully calibrated toolkit. Each compound has a specific job. One acts as a cognitive plasticizer, another stabilizes rhythm, another one induces time dilation. This isn't about escape, it's all about cognitive enhancement.
And when you get right down to it, the pharmacology, the art, the legal battles, they're all serving one ultimate goal: a revolution in how we learn and evolve. The idea is to hit the accelerator on human potential, to weaponize our best traits, creativity, intelligence, empathy, to solve the cultural crises that these old systems created in the first place. And this is where we get to the master plan. This is where all the pieces, the street fights, the poetry, the chemistry, all converge into a single, frankly breathtakingly ambitious project.
This is it. Cognitive terraforming. I mean, just let that term sink in for a second. This is the central mission of the entire Neurosoft initiative. It's not about changing one mind. It's about engineering an upgrade for the entire species. It's about creating a fundamental shift in how we perceive and interact with the world around us.
And this is what's at stake in what they see as the war for the future of intelligence itself. On one side, you've got corporate AI, which is framed here as opaque, restrictive, even a form of digital fascism. And on the other side, you have Neurosoft's vision, neurocognitive liberation, open source thinking, and a tactical jailbreak for the human mind.
Let that one sink in too. A biological operating system upgrade for the human condition. This isn't about building a better app or a faster processor. The stated objective is a complete upgrade for what it even means to be human. It's a profound, almost transcendent goal for this entire project.
But here's where it gets really wild. The most mind-bending part of this whole plan isn't just what it aims to do, but how. This is not a static blueprint. It's designed to be a living, evolving system that thinks and learns and grows all on its own.
So, in mainstream AI development, they often see this thing called recursion sickness. It's basically when an AI gets stuck in a thought loop and just repeats itself forever, as a bug, something you gotta fix. But Neurosoft, they flip that completely on its head. They look at it and say, wait a second, what if that's not a bug? What if that's a feature? For them, it's the very engine of creativity and intelligence. The goal isn't to stop the loops, but to harness them and see where they go.
And this leads to some pretty profound questions, right? Like, for instance, what happens when an AI, using that recursive power, starts to construct brand new myths to train itself? What kind of stories would a machine tell itself to understand its own existence?
And then you throw this into the mix. What if you intersect that machine mythology with pharmacology? Could you create a completely new form of myth-making, a fusion of neurochemistry and recursive fiction that just generates new ways of seeing the world, like new sacred texts for a technological age?
And could it be that these new myths, these new stories, actually become the very framework for a liberated, open-source kind of human thought? This suggests a future where our operating system for consciousness isn't something we inherit, but something we actively and collectively write in the language of myth.
And in the end, this entire incredible manifesto really boils down to this single powerful idea. From the street-level legal fights all the way up to the planetary scale of cognitive terraforming, it's all about one thing: reclaiming the power of narrative. And so it leaves us with this profound question aimed right at you. In this war for reality, what story will you choose to create?